Whoa, there I go, popping right into the screen there. Thanks for tuning us in here on the Weather Channel. And let's start our tour of the country here in the west. And very slow-moving front, little boundary here, and a little wave of low pressure moving in through Oregon right now, has really taken its time moving inland, but it has done so. And there is still some rain with it. If there is any snow flying up in the mountains, you'd be hard-pressed to find it. You'd have to go way to the mountain peaks, I think, to get into the snow. So it's mainly a rain problem here, and really not that much of a problem because we don't really have that much in the way of heavy rain to talk about. A little bit heavier parts of the Willamette Valley, and we actually had some thunderstorms move from around Marysville, California, out up through the Blue Canyon vicinity and even up over the Donner Summit, where there still could be a little bit of rain encountered tonight. Rain in the Pacific Northwest, not so much up around Seattle. If it is, it's just sprinkles, but more from Portland, scattered about through Salem and Eugene and near the Medford area. You can see some of the rain trying to push its way up over the Columbia River up towards Spokane. And again, some rain along the Donner Summit here along I-80. Earlier there were some thunderstorms, but again, most of that appears to have pretty much died down. Had a little rain in San Francisco today, which was the first time, since we got some tropical moisture moving through a couple of months ago, but it has been a while. This may signal the beginning of our jet stream starting to come farther down the coast and maybe bring some more rain in. Let's hope that doesn't bode badly for the winter time. Too early to tell on that. 64 was the high today in the city by the bay, 56 in Medford. Only 58 in Seattle and 66 at Cut Bank. So we got the temperatures, at least in Seattle and Portland, knocked down by a good 8 to 10 degrees or so from what it was yesterday. 76 along the Strip in Vegas and 78 in LA. Gone are those real toasty temperatures that we had earlier in the week. 64 currently at LA, 65 in Phoenix, 50 up at Cut Bank, and 32 at Williston. So a little bit of cold air up here in the northern plains. Current temperatures in the Pacific Northwest, 48 at Burns, 53 in Medford, 61 in Monterey, 52 in Reno, and 64 at Ontario, and up at Santa Maria we're talking about 55 degrees. Some earthquakes to talk about. One out here near Barstow, California, out in the middle of the desert, high desert, a little over 3 on the Richter scale. And we had one over 4 on the Richter scale near Bishop, California. It's been a little bit active there recently. As we head farther north, there was an earthquake even in Washington. Now this is east of the Cascade Mountains here, on over toward Walla Walla, I believe, a little over 3, and nothing to report earthquake-wise in the Pacific, or excuse me, in Alaska, at least the last 24 hours. All right, that's what's going on in the west. Pretty much tranquil in the middle of the nation. Some low clouds kind of hugged this area during the day. Kept the temperature down a bit until you headed out toward the Front Range. Then the skies cleared up a bit. But most of the wet weather is here in the east. We can take a little radar tour and look at this rain starting to bank up against the Laurel Highlands here in southwest PA. Some heavier rain there. Also some heavier rain trying to show up near Hazleton and getting up toward Wilkesboro and Scranton. There's a close-up. Now some of this is ground clutter up toward Cleveland, but that's real heavy rain, folks, moving on up toward the Pittsburgh area and on over toward Johnstown as well as Latrobe. There's the center of our upper level low. Not much rain left with it, but still a little bit circulating around Nashville. There's the big plume of moisture moving right up into Pittsburgh, up over the Shenandoah Valley and the Greenbrier Valley. Let's get in a little bit closer. Not really a whole heck of a lot of heavy rain around D.C. and Baltimore yet, but it is starting to fill in as another slug comes right up through Norfolk, up through the Tidewater, and you can see the rain up through Richmond and Charlottesville. What a washout tonight in the Old Dominion and on up into the Keystone State. And last but not least, we have yet another piece of rain moving through southeast, a piece of rain now. I'd like to see a piece of rain, but anyway, a little area of rain, I guess I should say, through southern Georgia, moving on up through Hilton Head and Charleston, as well as northern Florida. Which brings us to our forecast. Where's all that rain headed? Well, it's going to slowly move up the eastern seaboard as instead of a big spiral out here in Tennessee, the main low is going to end up being here along the coast, throwing a lot of Atlantic moisture back and a lot of wind, too, into southern New England. In fact, Jim Cantore is going to be reporting from Scituate there south of Boston tomorrow, and it could be very windy and very rainy. It could be pretty nasty stuff. You're going to want to tune in and check those conditions out. But look at that moisture throwing back into Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, central PA, all the way down through West Virginia, drying out a bit in the southeast. Look how much rain we think is going to fall across that region. No snow, however, it will be on the cool side. Let's check a few city forecasts.